All right. Today we have gathered here to put Teen Wolf to rest because that shit is fucking dead. That shit
Put
is
it to rest.
fucking dead. And like,
Oh my god.
well, if you
That's
haven't
messed
know,
up.
they released a Teen Wolf movie to end the season. I mean, to end like the series, and yeah, it came out. I think on Paramount Plus or whatever. 2 fucking hours long.
I know,
Um,
right? 2 hour out when I was watching, I wasn't expecting it. I thought it was gonna be like an hour and 30, an hour and 40. 2 hour long movie. So I was expecting something to be good.
but yeah. Um, so in all honesty, this probably won't be like a full review of the movie. The movie fucking sucks. Like that's really how it
Yeah.
is at the end of the day. I feel like we should dive more deeper into just like the series and overall and like the downfall of it, and then we could like jump into the movie.
hmm
But yeah. So what's your thoughts on Teen Wolf overall, man? Teen Wizzle.
So Teen Wolf, I remember it didn't come out. Weren't we watching that like around high school?
Hmm.
Yeah, I remember like during the summer of high school it came out. I feel like it was like during the summertime. But anyways, like when I first watched it, I felt like it had a really good first episode. It was interesting, and I just thought it was kind of cool because I was a big fan of like the Teen Wolf movies with Michael J. White. But it's nothing like that. It's nothing like that really. But
This nigga
that
just said Michael J. White. Wow.
oh, I said Michael J. My fault. My fault. It's Michael. What's his
Fox,
name? Michael
Fox,
something.
Fox, Fox.
Fox. Oh, okay. Yeah. So yeah, so after watching, because I love the Teen Wolf original movies. So after watching that, I kind of watched. I watched that. I watched the first episode expecting it to be kind of like that, even though it had some similarities like Styles and Scott friendship. It was like a totally different show, and I felt like it was a more modernized show that I can kind of relate to. So the first episode, despite it not being too crazy, it kept me hooked, and then they had so much like shock value that would keep me like hooked onto every episode. Like it was like one of the last few shows I can remember actually waiting for it to come out on TV and actually like wanting to see the next
Niggas
episode.
linking up every Thursday to go watch it together.
Yeah,
Like, yeah, yeah. I think
yeah,
I
yeah.
think because me personally, like Teen Wolf was cool, but like in the movies, but like I don't think that's why I wanted to watch it. Like I don't know why I gave it a shot, but I did, and I feel like what hooked me was the fact that one, it was diving deeper into like. Cause like, bro, the first two movies is just this nigga playing basketball, like, and he's like, nobody cares that he's a werewolf. Like, it's just so regular, like, you know what I mean? And
Mhm.
but in the show, it's kind of like, yo, it's a big deal, and like they
Yeah.
started off with like a murder, so like there's all, and then it shows you like that there's another wolf that bit Scott. Like, it wasn't just like, oh, like his parents had it, like he got bit.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like the story of the unreluctant hero, like the person who like you wouldn't expect to become like a hero or whatever. That's kind of what.
Mhm.
And they had like the darker tone, like there was blood and shit. So like, I
Mhm.
fuck with it. I fuck with it. You know.
Yeah, it had like a little mystery to it, you know. Like even just off the beginning, like I think, and I'm a huge mystery guy. Like I like mystery. Like, oh, who did what? Like if I can guess who did this and who did that, that keeps me interested in the show versus like a show that's just a plot and things are happening, which requires you not to think of what's going on actually. And
Yeah.
and then another thing that I liked about it is the whole concept and how they they utilize like wolves like pyramid schemes like the beta, the alpha, and what each like stage means and stuff like that. And I found it interesting, and it had like a philosophical kind of thing to it too. So I thought it was kind of really interesting. And then like the creatures that they would come up with in each season, I found like it would be interesting, and they weren't doing what like all the other like supernatural like shows were doing. Like they weren't just doing okay. If it's werewolves, then we gotta put some vampires in there to fight. They were actually trying to keep it within like the same mythical creature kind of, which I thought was pretty cool.
Yeah. In all reality, though, like, cause like I rewatched the show. When was the last time have you rewatched the show or no?
No, I haven't rewatched the show in a long
So
time now.
yeah, I rewatched the show, and in all reality, like overall, the show is bad. Like overall, like it's it's just like because in the first season, it wasn't that good. Like, but like it got me hooked enough to continue watching it. You know what I mean? Like, cause like I literally rewatched the show and like seeing certain elements, it's like you could tell they didn't really know what they wanted to do. Like the fact that they like there was a giant werewolf, but like they don't turn into werewolves. Like you know what I mean? They just get furry. Like you know what I mean? Like oh they were saying like oh a true alpha is when you turn into the giant wolf. That they dropped that completely. There's a lot of like things that they were setting up and but they didn't like know where it would go. So I feel like the best way I could compare it is to like Arrow and like Flash. Like the first season is kind of like okay, like it's kind of like oh like this is setting up to be good, and then like once they found like the second and third season is where they found like their groove, and that's when it was like oh yeah this is actually pretty interesting. Like once it switched from like a teenage oh like let's fall in love like love story type shit to like a dark like horror like mystery like type shit like that's when it was like yo this is lit like this is actually like really good.
My favorite season when I started really getting hooked into it was I think it's called the Kanema.
The second season.
Yeah, the Kanema when Jackson was the whole creature the whole time. Although, like from what I remember, it was probably like it was the stupid reason of why the villain was doing what he was doing. Even though it's traumatizing. I remember his name was like Matt, and he was drowning because Isaac's brother.
He did it because he got bullied as a kid.
Yeah, and then I think he recalled like one time of him getting drowned, like drowning in the pool, and everyone was making fun of him, and he almost died. And then Isaac's dad, I'm pretty sure Isaac's dad's threatened him not to tell anybody, and then I guess that traumatized him, which is why Jackson, when he was in the Canada, was afraid to go into water because
Yo, why are you lying to these niggas?
huh?
That's not your favorite season. Your favorite season is the Alpha Pack. Come on, stop playing. You know that's
Alpha Pack. That wasn't my favorite season, bro. I think I like that season.
Deucalion? The nigga that was blind? Oh, God, that was literally like that. Because like season 3 is when they split it in half. When you know how they did season 3A and then season 3B. Season 3A was the Alpha Pack, and then season 3B was when Scott became the not Scott Styles became the monster. Remember when he was like evil?
Yeah.
That's season 3. Like era was just that's real. That's like perfect Teen Wolf right there. Like
I think I didn't really I like the Nugitsune part a little bit more, but the reason why I like the second season because I just like the mystery of it. It was like I don't know. I feel like there was more shock value versus like them fighting the alphas. I was like,
the reason why I feel this way is because I rewatched it.
That's
like,
true. I have to rewatch it. That's
like,
another.
Like it just rewatching it like there's a lot of plot holes and it's like a lot of like bro. In all reality, that nigga becoming like the master of the camera was fucking retarded. Like they try to set it up like it was a big thing, and it was like I got bullied when I was a kid. Like, I don't give a fuck, bro.
Yeah. I was like, man, there should have been a crazier reason.
Like you know,
Hey,
and
man, but like, hey, not to be
name?
insensitive, but you got kids shooting up schools for being bullied. So you know what I mean. So,
but like, and then Alice's granddad, like that whole plot line was fucking stupid as shit. It's like the overall, I feel like season 3A and 3B is like the perfect mixture of like solid because it was cut in half. Season 2 is like the entire season 2. That's why it's like it's drawn out for a reason. Like once they figured out to cut this shit in half, and like two different plot lines, that's when it was like, oh, this is actually really good.
Mhm.
And then yeah, well, Styles is the best character in the show.
Best
Like
actor too.
we have best actor. There's a reason why. Like in all reality, like if he wasn't in the there's like if he wasn't in the show, I don't think like I would have like continued watching. I know that sounds crazy, but like it's really real. Like he
Yeah,
carried the show. Like you
yeah.
know,
He
like
was a big part of the show. Like I would watch it specifically to see like his funny scenes and stuff like that, and like even his emotional scenes too.
like him with Derek, like that was a funny ass combo. Like them two always together and shit.
Yeah.
So, like yeah, yeah. What else?
I remember us saying while we were watching, like, yo, this dude's probably the best actor in the show, and he's probably gonna do something other than that. Not to say that the other actors are terrible people. I'm just saying like he was really good to the point where like we could see him do another movie.
Because
Or like
it's hard for like joke characters to land. To be honest, like niggas that are just supposed to be funny niggas, like it's hard for that to land. So like the fact that he was doing it for so and like niggas was rooting for him and shit, it kind of just made it like better. And then when he turned into the monster, I was like, yo, this nigga's acting. This nigga is acting like yo, like yeah. I was like, yo, this nigga got something for real.
yeah.
And then when Allison died, they tried to like that was season 4. They were like, "Yo, somebody's dying at the end of the season."
Yeah.
And then like you just knew it was Allison. Like,
Allison, yeah. Kind of just figured.
you just and then like her death was just like,
Yeah.
ah.
I still care. I knew it was happening. I still cared that they killed her off. I didn't want her to die,
I
but
cared. The reason why I didn't like it is because I feel like it didn't. I feel like they killed her off because the actress wanted to leave versus killing her off because like her plot was finished. Like you know what I mean?
hmm
Even though Allison as a character was just not that good, like she's actually a pretty bad character. Like in my opinion, like I didn't really like her like her character arc. Like
hmm
in the beginning, it seems like she's just like this perfect girl next door, and then the second she finds out about werewolves, she's fucking John Wick shooting niggas down the stairs, like killing niggas. Like he's just like, all
Yeah, they
right,
made her like an expert out of nowhere, right? Like
nowhere, like
she was just shooting some trees for with arrows for like a couple of
bro.
days, and
I,
then
I hate this. I hate to jump to the movie, but bro, throughout this whole movie, when he was chasing down Derek's son, I was like, yo, this bitch is a regular person. Like, you know, like the whole time, I'm just like, yo, she bleeds like any other nigga. Like, kill this bitch. Like, you're like even at his age, he could have probably fucked it up. Like, you know what I mean? Like
yeah,
running like it's the Terminator. Like she can't be stopped. And then she's fucking up Scott. I'm like, Scott, what are you doing, bro? Like
it's one of those things though. They're trying to say like Scott won't mess her up. You know what I
bro,
mean?
they
You have to hold it back.
bro, there was literally like a 15-minute scene of him just like, wait, I need to talk to you. Come on, like, you're not understanding. Like, I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, in all reality, like if she's attacking you, like in my head, I also find it the reason why like this movie doesn't make any sense is like, why would you believe that's really Allison? Knowing all the shit that you know, I would have been like, this is fake.
And bro, the way how she just appeared, bro.
It doesn't make this movie makes no sense.
She just appeared like they didn't give no facts or like no reason why she appeared. I think they said like she was here the whole time.
He was stuck in between limbo. That shit, yo, I'm telling you, this movie literally makes no sense. Like,
And how does that produce a physical body? That's what I don't know. I understand if they said like it was a ghost or something, but for her to physically still be there is like nah.
What would have made it's crazy how like it takes me 2 seconds to really think about something and it would have made the movie 10 times better. If the monster is it Kitsune? Is that his name?
In the kitchen there, something like that, yeah.
If that nigga brought Allison to life to like torture Scott, or like you know what I mean, that would have lined up more. Like you know what I mean, it would have just made more sense. But like, it's literally like yo, I had a dream about her. She's still alive. we have to get her. Like,
And then the Nugitsune kind of manipulated her, like she became her. He projected himself as her mom to
but
influence her.
at first he didn't. It was just he was just him. He looked like
Yeah,
him, and then he just turned into her mom. So it's like,
yeah,
why would she fall for that?
yeah, yeah. It was weird. It was weird.
The
And then she did
movie.
have a memory, and then she had it sometimes, and then it fully came back. This was weird because I feel like it could have been a better. It could have been a better villain, bro. I don't know why. I love Peter as a villain. Peter's pretty cool. I like him as a character. The Nugitsune thing, it was like,
You know why? This is how. This is
I
how
want
I'm
to see some
thinking.
physical action, not no like plotting.
This is how I'm setting shit up. So they try to they try to fit a whole season in a movie.
Hmm.
That's what it feels like. They try to
Yeah.
like, okay, yo, we gotta like end the series off or like set up a spinoff. Like, let's find a life. Like, this feels like a season in like a movie. Two, I feel like they brought back that nigga because like that was the best season. Like, you know
Hmm.
what I mean? They brought him back because like, you know, like that was pretty much like the best villain in the series. Like, that's what got them. That's what got people to really care about the show. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I know like obviously the werewolf shit, but that shit like made like even critics like yo be like, oh, this show's actually pretty good. Like, you know what I mean?
Hmm.
Um, that and then three, they they were having issues with the script because they were filming during COVID and shit. And I heard that they started filming before they finished the script. So like there's a reason why a lot of shit don't make no sense. Like, why the fuck is two Americans in a sushi bar in Tokyo? And why is the kitsune in a wooden jar at a bar?
Yeah.
And then why did when that nigga walked in, everybody pulled up and whipped out guns? Do they work for them?
Yeah.
Do they know what's going on? Like, are they werewolves too? Like,
Do you think that like they could have made they should have like so you believe that they have the right villain to
no.
use the movie? No. Who do you think would have been a better villain out of the show?
So in my opinion, even though they couldn't have done it because I know you haven't watched like you never finished the show, right? You don't know what happens at the end.
Bro, after the Nagitsune thing, like kind of, I was like in the middle of it, and then when Allison died, a couple episodes after that, I was like,
It
I
was
don't even
done.
know.
It was done. Yeah, same. So
Yeah.
I've seen a couple. Like, I was watching some reviews of the new seasons and stuff. Like, I was just doing my research to find out more. And the last season, bro, there's mad villains. There's like three villains that showed up like when we stopped watching it, and they were all ass. Like, they were all ass. Like, and then the final villain of the show was a setup for the spinoff. There was
Mm,
gonna be a spinoff with like the young generation niggas.
hmm.
And then she gets away at the end of the season, the show. Like, the end of the show, you see her running away, and they're like, "Oh, we gotta catch her." And then like
Is it the
that's
blonde girl?
no, it's some black shorty,
Oh,
it's
okay.
some random black shorty, and she was supposed to set up this. She was supposed to be the villain in the spinoff, but the spinoff never happened. So she was like the last villain, and
Oh.
I feel like they made this movie to like course correct, like, you know what I mean.
Mm,
But if I had the power to do this, I would have had a whole new villain. I would have had a whole new villain. I would have like dropped some of the characters. Like, there's a lot of niggas that are in this movie that just don't do nothing. Like,
bro, Jackson, why is he there?
why
Why
was
is
he?
that?
This
Why?
nigga was like, yo, I got my tail. I'll kill you right now. Nigga did nothing the whole movie.
I was so mad. I was like, oh, so they're saying that he has the cannabis power still.
Exactly.
So I was like, okay, cool. Is he gonna do something? He's just
No,
there for comedy. Just there for comedy. Oh, he gets shot by the teacher. Still doesn't do anything. I'm like,
bro. When that teacher walked out the shadow like he was something serious, I almost punched my laptop.
I was like, oh, I was like, I wouldn't expect it to be. Oh shit, he's a villain. Like, nah, I didn't care at all.
I didn't care at all. I was like, who is that? And then I had to look it up, and I was like, it's that old teacher from season 4 or whatever. Like,
You know what's crazy? I know it's the teacher, right? I just didn't know what he did, but I was like, was he a villain? Like, was there a villain that he did something wrong, or like,
Something,
why
yo.
is he here?
Yeah.
And why is he blaming people for something they didn't even do? Know what I
How
mean?
does he know about the camera? No, not the camera. How does he know about like the nigga in the jar? Like, I don't know, man. Yeah, this shit was fucking terrible. Like, this is one of the worst movies I've seen in a while. I'm not gonna lie. The action
Bro,
was
I was
bad.
so excited though. I was like, yo, Teen
Oh,
Wolf back.
no, I
Let me
wasn't
see
excited.
this. I was so excited, bro, and then
The reason why you was excited is because you didn't rewatch the show.
yeah, and then the final scene was just the worst. The worst thing I've seen. You just see the kid walking in slow motion. He doesn't even look cool or anything, bro. He looks corny as hell, and then he just like starts screaming. I'm like, yeah, they setting up for another show, but like it's like I don't know. He didn't kill it. He didn't seal the deal to me, bro. Like his character wasn't interesting really at all. Like
Nigga,
if you're gonna make him the next Scott, bro, you got to make him appealing in some type of way. You know what I mean? You can't just I don't know. It was weird.
well, niggas killed Derek and made it seem like nigga, that's like the seventh time he died. I don't give
Mhm.
a fuck, bro. Like, I don't care. Like, and then the villain becomes a werewolf at the end. I was just like, what are we watching right now? Like that shit looks like some Power Ranger shit. Like I was like, yo,
It
this
was,
is
but
bad,
no
bro.
lie, like Teen Wolf, I feel like the combat in Teen Wolf was never too
It
crazy.
never was.
Never was. Like you'll see, I was mad. The one crazy thing that was stupid, but I wanted him to do in the movie. I wanted him to do like Jackson's signature kick, the flip kick thing he always does, and he didn't even do that. So I was like, yo, this shit whack. This
It
is
just
whack.
wasn't. It just wasn't it, man. That shit was like, it was really bad. Like,
And then when I was on, I have curiosity. I went on Instagram, right, and I was scrolling down on like their announcement of it coming out, when it's gonna come out on Friday, and people said, "Oh, I watched it. Oh, I loved it. I want to watch it twice." I'm like, "There's people that actually like the movie, man." I was like, "Damn!" I was like, "That's crazy." Like people will like anything these days, bro.
I don't know. Every time the shit I've looked up is just all negative. So
Yo, there was people on Instagram like under their
I think
posts.
those are fake profile accounts because like, nigga, this movie is terrible. This is one of the
Oh,
worst
shit.
movies I've
I
seen this
plan on
year.
watching it again. Oh, I watched it twice already. I'm like, nah, that's crazy.
I'm not gonna lie. Like, I don't think I'm calling it. Like, this is the worst movie of 2022. Like, already, like, bro. I was sitting there like, and then I moved the mouse and it's like only 30 minutes has passed. I was like, no, like no, like it's like. Like, I was messing, like, I was like, oh no, like
But I don't think it was 2 hours though. I think we said it was 2 hours, but I don't think it was two
it
hours.
was like 170, 150, that type shit. Like,
I don't even think it was that long, bro. Just
no,
it
like
was
on my screen it said 2 hours. So, but I'm pretty
for
sure
real.
the end was like credits and shit.
Yeah.
But
Let
yeah,
me
like,
search it up. I think it was just so bad that we're saying that it's that long because that's crazy.
it was 2 hours on my shit.
2 hours of booty cheeks. That's crazy.
That shit was crazy, gang. Like, yeah, it makes me sad. Like,
It
but
says an hour. It says an hour and 17 minutes. That
no,
did not feel like an hour and 17 minutes.
that's cap, man.
That has to be cap because it felt like it was like so long and it was dragging. I was like,
But yeah, 0 out of 10. Uh, yeah, dead the series, never bring it back. No spin-offs. Like, it's up. Yeah. Like,
but if there was a spinoff, how would you? I feel like the wrong choice was to even come out with a movie. I feel like they should have just came out with a season instead.
I actually think it was actually cool to come out with a movie, but I just think they did it wrong because like people were asking for this. Like,
Yeah.
fans wanted like a return to form. They fucked up instantly once Styles said he wasn't coming back. Once the Asian shorty said she wasn't coming back, they got the McDonald version of the Asian shorty. That doesn't. The shorty, you know that's who that was. Like you know that
She was a whole new character though, right? They called her
yes,
someone.
but like
Yeah,
she
but
was
we all
in-
knew. Yeah.
she was in replacement of her. Like you
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like she had the
I
same
heard they didn't want
powers.
to. I heard they didn't want to pay her right. That's
Yeah,
why.
they didn't. Yeah, yeah. So it's like they fucked up off that those two right there, two of the
Mhm.
most like famous characters on the show. Like the Asian shorty niggas love her, and then Styles niggas love him. Gone, and then like they bro, Crystal Reed is 40 years old. She looks like
Wow, don't say that.
bro.
She didn't look bad.
Nah, she looked bad. Bro.
She
She
looked
looked
bad.
yeah, she looked bad. Like it looked like it looks like bro, you too old for this. Bro, stop.
I mean, they're old now, bro.
Y'all niggas gotta rest.
They're adults. They're adults.
Bro. You know
He
Crystal
didn't-
was older than like some of the teachers that were on the show.
How
Like,
old
she was like 29 when she first started playing the character or some shit.
I know she looked mad young.
Now it don't look like that. You feel me? Like
I'm
they
looking
all
at
look
the photos right now.
older.
She look fine. She don't look young, but she
don't look-
she making it seem like
It
she
doesn't look the same.
bro.
My point is, she don't look the same. So why the fuck would she come back 40 years old?
She do not look 40. You bugging, bro. She do not look 40, bro.
I'm not saying she looks 40, but she is. Like, I'm saying she is.
But we're going based off looks, because if you're saying that, almost every actor is not really their high school.
Yeah,
age.
I know, but like, it was just very noticeable to me. Like, she didn't look threatening. She didn't look like she looked like it just didn't. It wasn't giving. You feel me?
I don't know, man. I don't know about that one. I don't know. That's a hot take. But
No, I don't take it at all.
like I think she looked presentable. I think it made sense.
I'm not
for
saying presentable. I'm saying it. For me, it wasn't.
she looked like her age in the movie, bro. Like, how old are they supposed to be?
That's my point. Why would she come back that their age? Why would she come back a teenager?
You right.
How the fuck did they
You're right.
how did they get the sword that killed her? It was an Oni sword, and they disappear when they die.
Mm-hmm.
How did they get the sword?
Bro, that was like unexplainable. That you're completely right. I don't know. Maybe she said came back looking young again, but like
They could do that too. Like, you know what I mean? It would have just made more sense. Like for like I think that's just a pet peeve I have in movies and shit. Like, how the fuck you come back older? Like, I don't like, but anyway.
it made it seem like she was just somewhere else. Her physical body was somewhere else. Like they didn't bury her. Like, did she disappear when she gets stabbed? No, right?
No, they had a funeral.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So I don't know. So if they go to her cemetery and
Is she still there? I don't know.
is the skeleton still there? Like, I don't know.
But yeah. Scott, this nigga, 40 and a veterinarian. Where's your guy? He's coming right now. It's like, what do they call him? We call him the Alpha.
Yeah, that was I was like, why would they?
he's like, yo, we call him Alpha. Like a dog? No, like a wolf.
I was like, nah, man.
Bro,
No.
the dialogue in the show,
Like, that was like a Power Ranger catchphrase, bro.
it was trash.
Damn.
Yeah,
I remember watching that scene. I was like, what? I was like,
yeah.
and they made like I thought they were gonna make him look at least fresh, like saving people, but he looked kind of whack. He was just like, hey, hurry up, go.
Well, no cool intro, no like he's just a regular nigga. Like,
Not to make fun of him because he broke his jaw, but his chin, bro.
this shit is fucking.
I can't believe I never noticed that like that. Like, I've noticed it, but I never noticed how like I think it was.
I've always noticed. I've always noticed this shit just looking to the right a little bit.
Like, I heard apparently he broke his jaw, so I feel bad for him. Like, I was like, I'm not gonna. It's not like he's an ugly dude, bro. But it's like, damn,
He looks like a cartoon character, like you know what I mean, like he looks like Bruce Wayne or some shit, like, his jaw, like. But yeah, that's pretty much all I got to say. Fuck this shit.
The thing is, I wonder how the actors felt about the movie. Like when they were filming the movie, but they're like, "Yo, this movie's gonna be completely bust."
I think they would. I don't know. From what I get, I think they were just excited to come back. And when it comes to movies, you don't really get a full scale of the plot, or like even if you're doing something, you don't really know how. Like it might look good on CGI, like adding a visual effects and shit. So in my head, they're probably like, I'm just happy to come back. Feel me? Like a lot, like what was Derek's uncle name?
Peter.
Peter, like Peter looked like he was having fun. Like you know what I mean? Like a lot.
I like Peter. Peter was cool. I feel like he was the only one that wasn't corny in the movie.
Bro, his intro was terrible though. Nigga said he was chilling in the dark. He just sparked the shit. He's like, I'm known to be a light or some shit, a fire or some shit. He walked over, hit it once, and then threw it away. I was like, what was the point of you doing that? It was just so corny, bro. Like, I was like, this nigga is like, and then he just burns Derek's neck. Like, yo, Derek was a bitch, bro. I'm not gonna lie. Nigga was on his ass the whole movie.
Like he wasn't the one.
Like he wasn't him. Like, yeah.
Like he wasn't the one.
They brought this nigga back from.
But the movie did point out one thing that, like, even though like they were praising him at the time, he did go through a lot throughout the show.
Obviously.
He went through a lot, and then everyone always had like an issue with him and what he was doing, and no one ever trusted him.
Well, in all reality, like watch season 1 again. This nigga look like a pedophile, just standing there in the shadows in the back. He's just like they're just playing lacrosse, and then you turn around, this nigga's in the woods, just staring at him. This nigga's a grown ass adult, just chilling in high school. Like, well, I think it's weird.
He just wants them. He just wants them young and fertile.
Anyways, yeah, that's all I gotta say. I'm tight that they brought this shit back just to fuck it up. Like, my opinion, it would have just been better off dead. I'm sorry.
No. But I honestly think it could have been better as a season rather than a movie.
Like, the reason why I didn't want a season because I wasn't gonna watch it. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna be straight up. Like, if they just had like a movie, a new villain, like you know, like on some like Lizzie McGuire type shit, like on some like you know what I mean, like just like some random place, like you just have like a couple of the main characters and like a new villain, like why the fuck does Scott still live with me? Like, you know what I mean? Like, why is this nigga playing lacrosse at 40? Like, what is going on? Like, there's a lot of questions that it feels like they're bound to that place because they want to like continue the story. Like, you know what I mean? I don't know.
I feel like if you gotta erase, I think you're saying that because you gotta erase that movie out of your mind and just think of it as like they're coming out with a whole new project in the show, and then. Like, if that movie never happened, I could picture it. Like, oh, they could make another show. It doesn't have to even involve Scott. It can involve someone completely different.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It doesn't even have to be Derek's son.
Like,
it doesn't have to be, like, someone related to the original cast.
Like, let's expand the universe and, like, talk about, like, other people becoming werewolves and shit. I'm not gonna lie. I remember you saying this, but I have to disagree with you when you were saying, like, you enjoyed like the different monsters or whatever. Like the Candyman was a cool concept, but overall, I feel like they didn't dive deep enough into the werewolf mythology for them to be jumping into Japanese mythology and shit. Yeah, it's like, bro. In my opinion, well, I know you probably wouldn't have liked it, but I felt like it would have been fire if they brought out vampires. Like, you know what I mean? If they brought out something else.
So when I said that, right? I said that in a way because around that time, like that was like people were talking about like Twilight and shit, right? Kind of. Yeah. So it was like everyone had vampire and every time you think werewolf, you would think vampire. So I felt like a vampire would be like Honestly, I thought this was what they're gonna do. I thought the vampire was gonna be like the last villain.
That would, yeah, that would have been fire. Like, you know what I mean? I feel like, I don't know, cause like, bro, hold on, I gotta.
And then that would open up so much doors to like other shows, like mythical creatures and stuff like that. I thought that's what was gonna happen. I thought like after they fuck up all the dogs and the wolf creatures, they're gonna be like, dun dun dun. Some Dracula motherfucker shows up.
Whoa. We only got a couple minutes left. Let's see if you see my thing. Well, this is one of the villains. Like, y'all niggas is trolling, bro.
Is that the Were Coyote girl?
No, this is like a panther or some shit. Like,
Oh, isn't that Peter's sister, right?
now Peter's sister.
I forgot.
Things ants.
Oh, okay.
These are the 3 villains of season 5.
What the fuck?
Bro, like what? Yeah, that's all I gotta say, bro. Fuck that shit. RP Teen Wolf. That's all I gotta say.
Glamour of wearing diamonds.
Diamonds bring
Status.
elegance and prestige. Their brilliance makes
Brilliance.